Hello, good morning everyone in YouTube land. So yeah, I've got a couple of things I wanted to do this morning. It's about 11:15 I think. Let's have a look. It is almost exactly 11:15, good guess. A local bicycle shop down from Lewisham has said they're just going to randomly turn up at the pond this morning, 10 till midday, and offer free tune-ups to people for their bicycles. No, I don't think there's much they can do for this. But I thought it might be interesting to go along and take a look. I did it for the content, innit? Yeah, thought I'd just turn up, see what's going on, if there's many or any people there. And I have also brought my Netgear hotspot router. Yes, so I figured once I've done that and been to the pond, I'll sit it down here on my lap and just ride around and see what the reception is looking like. I meant to look last night to see if it has some kind of sort of connection monitoring, but might have to just rely on the bars, the meaningless bars of uselessness. The only ones you can generally rely on are all of them or none of them. Anything in between is kind of BS. In theory, it's supposed to be dry all day today, like 1% chance of rain all day. But I'm not feeling it right now. I remain unconvinced. That speed bump's quite aggressive. So I was a good 20 minutes late starting out. A chap from FedEx turned up, saying that he was here to collect a parcel, a pair of boots that I was sending back to Spain. They'd sent me a PDF with some stuff to print out, no instructions whatsoever, nothing telling me that FedEx were due to arrive at any given time, certainly not that they were arriving today or this morning, literally nothing. And the guy was like, yeah, this happens all the time. Companies make these deals with FedEx to do returns, and then never bother informing the customers. And so the poor sod was left standing on the doorstep while I went and printed out the documentation. And of course this was the time that my laptop decided it was going to be a complete dick. So I had to faff about, so it took longer than necessary. But anyhow, it's sorted now. I've made a bunch of socials as well. There's now Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, none of which have any content on them whatsoever. I guess this is it. It's not looking lively, is it? Get a free bike safety check here. Hello there.
Morning.
How you doing?
Not bad, long time since I've seen one of those.
Been a while, hey? I thought I'd come and say hello. I knew you guys were going to be here today. So are you from one of the local shops, or is it just put up by the council? Or?
Council.
Okay.
So I'm a road safety officer, so this is part of my
Ah, okay, brilliant.
job.
Oh, fantastic. Hang on, let me turn around a bit. You had many people turn up today?
First day I was busy.
Okay.
Yeah, people were here before me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So what do you find you're doing to the bikes?
It's mainly gears and brakes we've adjusted.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. These guys are so funny. They stop the traffic. They'll sit there and walk across the zebra crossing. They're hilarious. Yeah, there's not much you could do to this.
Quite a collector's item there.
Yeah, they are a bit. They're pretty rare. Funnily enough, there are a couple of owners in the area.
Are there?
Yeah, so we had the most we've had, I think, were 5 or possibly even 6 over in Greenwich Park. but that's about it. But there were 3 of us out last week as well, and yes,
Yeah.
there's a sort of, there are so few of us, we kind of all know each other. There's a Facebook group and everyone knows everyone else.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, a bunch of owners around the country, and yeah.
So when the adjustment for the pedal lift?
No. So let me think. But essentially it's a recumbent bicycle with a motor strapped under here. I've got a modern lithium LifePo 4 battery on it. I've literally just done a swap over myself. I put disc brakes front and back. Before it was a caliper, but it was a plastic wheel, and so going down that hill in Greenwich Park, it can warp and melt the wheel because it gets so hot. And the rear brake was a drum brake, which is just constantly squeaking all the time and prone to locking up really easily. So the discs have been, the rear one's been very, very easy to sort out. The front one's been an absolute pig. Getting it, constantly adjusting it and getting it aligned and getting it to actually bite enough. And yeah, it's been a real pain in the bum.
You got for hydraulic?
No, it's just on a cable, yeah. It's nothing quite as fancy as that. There's a guy, one of the guys on the Facebook group of owners has put together like a kit. He does a front kit and a rear kit, or he'll sell them both together.
Yeah.
And so he just sends you the whole lot and off you go. For the most part, it was fairly straightforward. But you know, plastic wheels aren't the best thing in the world, really.
No, especially with a little bit of heat.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're cornering, well, 3 wheels aren't exactly great for cornering at the best of times. But
No, especially when the first wheel's seem to work front.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is that battery assisted as well?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So are they limited to 15 miles an hour, give or take, as well then? Right.
Yeah.
How many volts is that one?
It's 36.
Okay.
48. 36,
Okay.
I think.
So I'm guessing you have no trouble going up the hills on that then? It's got the torque to...
Apart from Ornaments Hill.
Okay.
But that, I mean, that's pretty steep. If I got the trailer loaded up, maybe 5 bikes.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It won't work. You literally
Yeah.
just cut out and I've got pedaling.
Ouch.
Same as the steep hill over there.
Okay. Yeah. This doesn't do terribly well. You find even just on slight inclines you're having to help it. So up Greenwich Park you're having to pedal 2/3 of the way really. But it's not too bad, you've got the battery helping you. It's not like having to actually just ride up it.
Yeah.
I also found that changing from a lead acid to the LifePo battery really helped. It's just got it's better at constant current delivery.
Yeah.
Whereas the lead acids will just trail off under load. And I'm in the process of fitting a second battery. I was going to wire it up for 24 volts, but there's all manner of issues with that, mostly to do with the battery management system in these batteries. If you wire them up in series, the BMS will kick in and just cut the whole thing out. But I'm still quite tempted with the idea of having a second one, because again, 2 batteries sharing the load, if it'll make a difference in sort of uphill performance and that sort of thing as well. There's only one expensive way to find out.
And it will be expensive.
Yeah, they're not the cheapest. I think this one was about 160 with the charger. They've gone up a bit since then, sadly, but yeah.
Yeah, the Boss battery is £600.
Oh, blimmin' heck. How many amp hours is that, give or take?
I haven't looked at that one.
No worries. About what sort of range do you find you get out of it?
That's, well, because it's...
Again, depending on how loaded up it
heavy
is,
and
but...
I'm tired most of the time.
Yeah.
So probably only about 25.
Oh wow, okay, that's really good. I get only 18 out of this. It's a 36 amp hour battery though, so it's still sort of fairly compact. I bought a smaller one to make sure it still fit underneath the battery cover.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to, a lot of guys modify it, they change the wiring out and swap things out. I wanted to keep it as standard as possible. And so I just got a smaller one that's literally just sort of 2 battery wires and a couple of M6 bolts, and that's it. It hooks into the bus bars easily enough, and it's all sort of fairly standard after that. I wanted to keep it the authentic C5 experience.
As you get on new traffic with it.
Yeah, not too bad. I find, in fairness to them, 99% of drivers are really respectful or careful. You get I've had just a couple of dickheads, but they've been the exception rather than the rule. But the trouble is, it only takes one to squish you. But most people, my biggest gripe is it's not out of unpleasantness, is they tend to crawl alongside you because they want to take a look or they're taking pictures, and when they're there, they're dangerous to me.
Yeah.
When they're there, it's fine, but the closer they are to me, I can't move, I can't maneuver, I'm stuck, you know, and so I'd rather they just come past me as normal. But that's that, you know, if that's the worst I can say about them, that's not too bad. The one-way system in Greenwich, I find that people are generally fairly forgiving, tolerant of my presence. But I find that in the heavier the traffic, the easier it is, because you're all crawling, you're doing 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, you just sit between cars and it's neither here nor there. It's when things can flow quite freely that you're having to really keep your eyes out if people are coming or not, and if they've seen you or not. So on that basis, I fitted motorbike horn, an 8-amp horn to it. The C5, the official Sinclair horn, which was an aftermarket extra, is like this little beeper that just goes beep. It's like, it might help you with pedestrians if you're in the park, but it's certainly not going to help you in traffic. Yeah. And I did have someone in Greenwich Park. We were all driving out, and it was a slow queue of traffic, so I thought, okay, I'm going to filter. Bad idea, not everybody is leaving. Someone decided parking space, cut straight across in front of me, and I ended up turned as hard as I could, had to slap myself off the side of the car to stop myself from going straight into it, and pulled up at the side. They got out, checked the side of their door, got back in and sodded off. Didn't even ask if I was all right, nothing. I've got the whole thing on camera. I wondered whether to call the police, but I just can't be bothered. I was unharmed, this wasn't broken. What they did was a colossal dick move, but I just couldn't be arsed with.
Yeah, someone overtaken on Belmont Hill and they actually knocked the mirror.
Oh really?
Close, I had to
Wow, flipping heck. That's so near in. It's not like your mirror is sticking out or anything. Did they have fairly wide wing mirrors themselves? I mean, even though they'd still be way too close.
No, it's just a standard car.
Was it narrow or was it a punishment pass?
She could have overtook me on the straight, and she left it to a blind bend when the car was coming the other way.
Yeah, okay. Flipping heck.
Yeah, I mean, I had words when we got to the traffic light.
Yeah. Not her finest hour.
No.
Dearie me. Yeah, some drivers just don't think it through. Or when they decide that as you say, there's a straight and they decide they're going to pass you when you come to a central reservation or something like that. Really now? Yeah. You had 150 metres back there that would have been safe as houses. You could have just come by.
Yeah, I had it on Belmont Hill. I got a bus stop.
Oh really?
From here to the crossing, that's where they wanted the bus stop was.
Wow.
It took me just pulled straight in. Unfortunately, I was on
wow.
the so I could literally had to wheelie up the curb.
Flipping heck, yeah.
I got the TFL, I got the camera footage. Of course, the front camera wasn't working.
Oh, you're kidding.
It's looked like it'd been edited.
Oh, okay, yeah. Miraculously disappeared. Yeah.
Up until then, it showed me in the sort of middle of the lane. And,
right.
but first of all, the bus driver told me I was cycling too fast. And then when I told him that I'd get his camera video and send it to TFL and they can make a decision on it, all of a sudden he was apologising.
Yeah, right. Flipping heck. See, I found, in fairness, bus drivers usually been really, really forgiving of this. Yeah. But I guess it's the extraordinary factor. You know, it's so weird, or you know, they don't know what it is, or just the novelty factor. Yeah. People tend to be fairly forgiving. And that, yeah.
It's like a classic car, isn't it?
I guess,
everyone's
yeah.
quite happy to sit behind a classic car.
Yeah, you want to take a look. Yeah. I wish I'd come up when it was a bit livelier up here. I was meaning to come up about 3/4 of an hour ago, but I just got, you know how life is, you get sidetracked.
Yeah.
So I guess everyone came early to get their bikes done.
One person's gone away, they're supposed to be bringing their bike back.
Okay. So you're doing many of these sort of little clinics around the place?
All around the borough.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's awesome. So is it mostly adults, or are they bringing kids and their bikes? Or?
Mainly adults. I mean, I do the commuters. I go Eddystone Bridge.
Okay.
Which is the main commuter.
Okay.
It's really busy. Then I do a couple of parks, which you get a mixture of kids and adults.
Yeah.
And then I do the CTM Folks and Gardens, where they connect to central London.
Okay.
Which is mainly commuters. And then later on in the day, you get the more leisure riders.
Okay, yeah.
Kids with you.
Oh, brilliant. That's really good. I thought in the summer holidays there might be quite a lot turn up.
Yeah, well, because I'm road safety, normally I'm in schools and
Okay.
obviously with the holidays, there's the school work. So
Yeah.
I try and do as many of these.
Oh, that's really cool. Nice one. Right, I'm going to mosey on. I'm busy testing. I try to. So I do my rides on YouTube, but for a while I was trying to stream them live to Twitch. And I find I have really bad reception problems, especially over in the park. Down at the bottom half of the park, it's fine, but up at the top, the mobile phone reception's terrible. So I'm trying out a few gadgets at the moment, riding around the area, seeing what the reception's going to be like, and yeah, see if I can find a couple of solutions to that. I enjoy the YouTube aspect, but it's way more fun live streaming because you've got people that are actually chatting to you and following you, coming along with you for the ride, and yeah, it's kind of cool, especially when if it's lively in the park. I often find people stop me. I'll happily let them have a go on it and let them ride around and stuff, and it's quite fun. So yeah, you're live on Twitch right now and people start chatting and interacting, and it's a giggle. So thanks for the chat.
Yeah, have fun.
Nice one, cheers, catch you later. Hello duckies, well, geese, goosies. everything near a pond is a duck. I've inherited my mum. Everything's a duck to her, bless her. Sorry. Bless her, she was left having to navigate avoiding all the horse poo. I wonder if both those cyclists were going to get their bicycles looked at. Oh, yes. Speak of the devil, I shall, having just talked to that chap about it, whip out my Wi-Fi. Well, actually, I've got the Wi-Fi turned off. So here we go. Oh, yeet. Here's my fancy hotspot. So it's a Netgear M2. That's going to take a minute to boot up. There we go. So these are supposed to be even better than the M1. I think they've probably just got, in addition to, I think it's 5G or better 5G support, sort of higher speeds they support. I've dinged the front of it already when I dropped it, flipping out. At least it's plastic, not glass. They, I think, have greater, higher gain, and the transmitter and receiver is better than the M1. And let's face it, I need all the gain I can get. Let's take a look. I'll bore you lot with it. Let's point this down a little bit. And see. Yeah, and see. See if I can find some kind of a diagnostic page. Schweip. Yes, my Wi-Fi is disabled. Okay. So settings. More status, maybe. RSRP 96 minus 76, 96 minus 76 dB. LTE B3 band. Status connected. Device information. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that shit out. My MAC address. Yay, knob end. I wonder if I do connect it up to the mobile app, which will mean having the Wi-Fi on. So what I've done is turn the Wi-Fi off because it won't be needed. I'll be connecting via Ethernet. How amusing is that? It's got an Ethernet port. And I figured it's a way of saving a lot of battery power is by not bothering with the Wi-Fi. But I wonder if connecting via the mobile app will tell me what the sort of connection quality is like. There doesn't seem to be much. I mean, 4 bars or 5 bars. It's all the bars basically. I've got full bars at the top left for what little that's worth. Now, where can I put this safely that I don't yeet it while I'm riding? Right, here goes. But yeah. all the bars in the middle of the heath. This is good. Obviously that says nothing about what my actual bit rate will be, what my bandwidth is going to be. I think that's just going to be a case of trial and error. I might have to just sit in the deadest spot in the park, see what bit rate that's capable of sustaining, and set that as the default. I don't think the various encoders and boxes that I've got support any kind of variable bit rate. No, of course it can't. It doesn't know. It doesn't know what the reception quality is. So yeah, it'd be impossible to set up variable bit rate. Okay, I've dropped a couple of bars here. Maybe one. Hello. So the real test will be the stretch in the park where all the roller skaters tend to hang out and do their thing. That's one of the deadest parts in my rides. There's the first path in on the right when I head down that way. That's pretty dead. It gets really choppy and can just about maintain the connection. But once I start coming back across the park, that's when the stream gets dropped almost every time. So if I can maintain the stream there, or you know, if it doesn't look like the reception's too bad there, then it could be that this one box might be enough. It'd be amazing if it is. Otherwise I'd have to get a Bella box, and then I'd need to run more than one mobile contract, well not contract, SIM, because I'd just do the monthly, and run multiple, run multiple connections, multiple modems and so on. So yeah, this is where I tend to lose the streak. Yep, it's pretty weak. Oh no, it's not. How many bars have we got? 3 out of 4, so it's not great. It's dropped to 2. This isn't good. How is it that it's so terrible here? I really don't want to have to get a Bella box. That would be really bad times. Because it's built on a Jetson Nano. And they have fallen foul of the current chip shortage, and so it's very much a case of supply and demand. There is no supply, so they are made of unobtainium and are selling for about 4 to 5 times what they're worth, and I really don't want to have to pay that sort of money for one that in a year's time will be back down to 50-60 quid. But it would be the only solution in the meantime. Oh hell, this is down to 1 dot. Even this it's got nothing. This is not good. Nope, this is just, yep, lost connection entirely there. Flipping out. Lost connection, it's showing no, back again. God, it's patchy. No connection at all, just searching. Why is it so shit in here? I might try swapping the SIM from my phone and swapping it between my phone and this one, seeing if that one, because they're with different providers, see if that one's any better. Nope, this is just searching. It's got no connection whatsoever. This whole area, yeah, it's just a dead zone. I need to be paying attention a bit now. I really don't want to get squished by cars. I know how dangerous car parks are. Still just searching. I've put the M2 back down in my lap so I can keep my hand on the brakes and the horn button. Nope, searching. Searching. I can't believe how terrible it is. We're at the top of it. I could understand if I was, I don't know, God knows where the nearest mast is in that case. And you can see it's just like 2, 3 dots. 3. That's terrible. I'm not even sure that cellular bonding would fix this. If it's just plain searching, it's got no reception at all. It's not a case of I've got poor reception, so you sort of making the best of gluing the two together. This is just none. Oh God, that's such a pain in the arse. Damn it. I guess I just have to run with an absolute a metric butt ton of latency. I mean, that whole section, wow. Probably be looking at some like completely solid. I'll probably be looking at like a minute or more, and that's not practical for a sort of a live stream that I want to actually chat to people. That everything's a minute behind. But then I guess again it's something that I can experiment with. I can try running it at sort of 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute latency, see what does or doesn't work. Set up OBS with a sort of an I'll be back screen, so when the stream, if the stream does stop, it'll just skip to a video, pre-recorded video, or ideally a collection of pre-recorded videos, so that it's not the same thing every time, because I've a feeling that it's going to be used a lot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause recording just for now, and I'm going to swap SIMs between my phone and the M2. I won't bore you with me doing that. Yeah, I'm going to swap them between the two and see if it's any different, because obviously the other one uses a different cell provider. I think that one's backbone is Vodafone, I think. Back in a minute. Actually, I decided I'd show this. My phone uses a nano SIM, but this uses a micro SIM, so I have to use a little adapter to put them together, and then it comes in here, fits under here. That's not quite in. There we go. There we go. And here we go. Chap wants to know about C5, you can always ask. Happy to chat. So this now I have to reboot. My phone's rebooting, but I won't bother logging in. I'm not about to use it. Once this is rebooted, I'll ride back to the top of the hill. Well, I'll ride all the way down the hill. And see what reception is like with it. No, I'll ride to the top of the hill, then I'll swap back stupidly. Because yeah, this is the one that I was hoping to use, the SIM that's in here right now. Right. Okay, here we go. Well, that's not a good sign. Searching. Unless it's just sort of logging in. SIM not installed. Oh, for heaven's sake. I had this hassle before. It's a bit finicky on having the SIM in exactly the right place. So let me shut it down. There we go. There we go. That was my bad, it wasn't quite pushed in correctly. Let's try again. Oh, blimey, yeah, so... I'm just thinking about the necessities of the sort of logistics of cellular bonding, that if I stuck a different SIM in this and used this SIM, just changing some of the contracts, I wouldn't need the same amount of bandwidth across all of the contracts. So if they're 100 gigabytes, they're both running 100 gigabytes. If I'm splitting the stream between the two of them, then in theory they only need 50 gigabytes each, which obviously reduces the cost for me, and it might become a bit more practical, because I think a Bellabox can maintain 4 or possibly even 5 modems. I think it's something like 4 modems and a Wi-Fi connection to your phone, or something like that. Oh heck. Two seconds, sorry. This needed. Or maybe this isn't Vodafone. I was sure this was Vodafone. Ah, that's what I didn't do. I didn't save. Nope. Okay, it's not Vodafone, it's Talk Mobile, it's just the backbone is Vodafone. Silly boy. Nope, still not happy. Actually, I don't need to hide this. This is... I'm pretty sure this is Talk Mobile. Let's try each of them in turn. Nope, not that. Nope. Okay, seems to like that one then. Okay. Oh, okay, look at that. We've got plenty of reception. It's dropping a bit. Trailing off. But a bit more than I had on my other one. Okay, let's see what happens when I go back through the dead spot. See how much it does or doesn't maintain that through there. If it can at least just stay connected, that would be a biggie. Oh, it's like 1 dot. The only provider I haven't tried yet is EE. I need to try them. See if they have any reception up here. Hello. If so, well, who knows? There's no reason to suggest, nothing to suggest that they'll have any more than anyone else. 2 dots. 3 dots. Okay. When I came through this way, it was just searching, it had nothing at all. 2 dots. I mean, it's not great, but it's not nothing. It's better than nothing. Yep, still got 2 dots. It's not dropped it completely along here. Let me go to this area. This is where it first completely disconnected. Oh, 1 dot. Looks like it's hanging on by the skin of its teeth. Have I still got you guys though? Yes, I have. Okay, good. It hasn't completely disconnected. It's not ideal, but it's still here. Let me go to all the way down this stretch. It might well be that cellular bonding is what I'm going to have to do. which is fucking annoying because it means, oh, it's got 3 bars now. Means I've just spent £70 on an HVAC encoder that I don't need. Wow, 4 bars. Okay. All I can do is give this a go and see. Who knows what bit rate sort of down to 1 or 2 bars might mean. It could be that 4 or 5 bars means it's capable of doing 5 kilobits, and 1 bar might be 500 kilobits. 500 kilobits is probably using H.265 and SRT. 500 kilobits is probably enough to maintain a 720p stream. And if it's only for smaller stretches and everywhere else is capable of sustaining a bit more, then I would consider, yeah, going with 1080p and just have sort of slightly shoddier reception. Right, I'm going to crawl down here because I'm going to be wanting to watch this the whole way down, see how many bars it's got, and most definitely can't send it down here if I'm not paying attention. 2 dots. It's still not 1 dot, or no dots, even though it's not great. It's not great, but it's still not nothing. Not great, not terrible. Well, it's still there. It hasn't completely lost connection. It's getting moments of 4, and bearing in mind I won't be riding down here this slowly. I usually send it down here because why not? Well, you know what I mean. Sorry about that. Well, again, it's still here. This could do it. Who knows what bit rate that's capable of sustaining, but it's maintaining the connection. So yeah, it's had patches of very, very poor connection, but it hasn't dropped connection entirely. Okay, well, that's something. It's really quiet here this morning. I'm not surprised. It's not the nicest day. Quite windy, very grey and grim. It's actually a bit nippy in the wind. The breeze is quite cold. It's still got 4 bars though. We're doing quite well. Yeah, I mean, we're still here. That's full beam, full reception here. Look at all those dogs having a good old run around. He's going to jump in the water. Can you see it? Oh no, he's chickened out. I don't know if you can see that large brown dog. He went running towards the pond, got to the edge of it, screeched to a halt, and was like, no. Changed his mind. I'm not going in. Sod that, it's too cold for that. Yeah, still got good reception though. Yes, my Wi-Fi is disabled. I didn't have done that intentionally. You can stop telling me. Though I have a feeling that the battery life on this will be more than enough anyway. I think it seems to be able to support something like up to 5 hours, and given that my streams tend to be 2 to 3 hours tops, 5 would be more than enough to maintain the connection for a full stream. Yeah, this is usually a fairly dead patch for my phone under normal circumstances. That's 4 bars, 4 out of 5. So yeah, you can see. How are we doing? Let's go across this way. Oops. There we go. It's usually alright down here. I can usually maintain a fairly decent 1080p stream around here. Tiny child. Do not squish tiny child. Sorry. That's okay, I see you. Thank you. Hello. Thanks. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's still kind of working. Hello. I'll go over to the Cutty Sark. There was a down arrow then for a second. I've no idea what that meant. Receiving data for something? Who knows what or why. Usually over this half, the reception tends to get a little shoddy. Bit sketchy, patchy, that's the word I'm blindly groping towards. Cheers. But yeah, it's still alright. Software update available. 157 meg. Why didn't it do this update last night when I was told it to update? Update currently downloading. Okay, I'm going to sit here randomly and let it update in the middle of Greenwich Park. Why it chose to do it now instead of when I said, oh, whatever. So I'll pause here while it does its update. So clearly it's got plenty of data reception in order to actually in order to do this. Randomness. And usually it's pretty patchy as we get over into the centre of Greenwich and over by the Cutty Sark. However, I will not be riding like this in the middle of Greenwich. I'll have to put this down in my lap and not look at it while I'm riding in traffic, because I don't want to get squished. No squish, please. So yeah, given how easily this seems to scratch, I'm going to need some kind of little screensaver for this, screen protector. But I'm going to need access to the buttons. I wonder if anyone's actually made a screen protector for it. Let's have a look while it's doing its thing. 2 seconds, I'm going to need to log into my phone, which means typing in my password, which I've done more than once on stream by accident, like an absolute space cadet. Right, so because this is rebooted, I have to log in twice. The first login sort of brings up the apps, but you can't interact with anyone. Right, eBay. Let's have a look. Netgear M2 screen protector, and I'll copy, select all, copy. I'll chuck it into Amazon or Google afterwards. Well, that's a big fat no from eBay. Let's have a look on, how's the Netgear getting on? 67% on its download. Let's have a look on Google. Netgear M2 screen protector. Boop. Weird. It's now taking me to an eBay auction. Netgear M2. Okay, they exist. I'll get one. Let me see if they do them on the evil that's Amazon. I hate Amazon. I try to buy from them as little as possible. They are literally evil corp. They treat their workers like absolute shit. Utterly unscrupulous company. M1 protectors, but not for M2. Okay, no worries. But they exist. I'll get one. But not right now. Right now, I'm boring you all with watching a software update take place. Flipping heck. Can this be any more exciting? Never let it be said I don't know how to do quality content. Hey, so yeah, the M2 literally just has a USB-C which you can use to charge. This will actually power the HVENC encoder. I think the polarity might be reversed, or it's not quite capable of providing enough power. I'm gonna have to have at it with a multimeter to see which way the barrel jack is polarized, whether it's center hot or shield ring hot. And under here are two little aerial adapters, but all the tests I've seen, it seems to be that aerials help reception but make absolutely no difference at all to transmission, that they don't seem to transmit through the aerials or something, but it makes no difference to upload speeds whatsoever. But it does help people's download speeds, which obviously is of absolutely no use to me whatsoever. 99% nearly there, and then I'm guessing it's going to do the actual update. The router will restart multiple times. Please do not power off or unplug your hotspot. Unplug my hotspot? Oops. Luckily it was pretty much fully charged, so it'll have plenty of power to do the update. So yeah, where was I? USB-C. I charge it through that. I'm not sure if you can connect to devices. I'm pretty sure you can connect to devices through either of those. Then obviously you've got the Ethernet, so the encoder, whichever one I end up using, will connect just directly through Ethernet. I won't bother using Wi-Fi or anything like that at all. So the connection will basically be, there's an HDMI out, will come out of the GoPro, which then goes into the encoder, and the encoder will then connect via Ethernet to this, and then this then talks to basically my computer back home, which becomes a relay server, and that will then it'll talk to OBS on my computer, and it'll turn the SRT stream, the H.265 SRT stream from this and the encoder back into H.264, which Twitch and everybody else can accept, and then it sends it off. So obviously it's got my fantastic nice home broadband connection to do that with, and so it's all about just trying to maintain connection to the stream as best as you can. I'm gonna have to edit some videos. I have no interest in video editing. It's not my thing. I'm quite happy. I just upload my streams, so I glue the whole things together and dump them onto YouTube and call it done. That's as far as I get with video editing, and even that I don't enjoy. I'm not here as I'm not into video editing. It's not really my thing, but I'm going to need some while I'm away. Please don't disconnect. Please don't go videos. This update's taking a lot longer than I was expecting. Silly boy. I should have told it to do it later. Okay, I'm going to stop boring you with me babbling incessantly about this while it does this update. I'm going to pause it and I'll come back once I'm ready to move on through Greenwich. Right, I'm back. Software update successful. Let me adjust this back to its normal sort of riding position, give or take. Mosey on. Yep, all the bars, so there is that. So it's showing it's connected by 4G. I don't know if LTE is better or worse than 4G. I don't know enough about it. Obviously it's 5G would be preferable. So it's still showing 3 or 4 bars. perfect timing is that? We've got almost full reception here. Yep. Right, I'm off the road. Okay. 3 or 4 bars. Not bad. Dude, seriously, let the guy do his turn. Flipping heck. And some people wonder why they nearly get squished on the reg. So yeah, now I'm off the road. 3 bars, that's a lot better than I was getting before. It's not ideal. It's usually pretty patchy or dead when I'm around here. Oh bless, there's one very unhappy sounding child, and from the from her dad, I'm guessing that's a very tired sounding dad as well. Okay, so I've got 3 or 4 bars around here as well, which is not too bad. Not great, not terrible. So yeah, as ever, it's all going to come down to, I'm just going to have to try it, see what I can maintain. I might have come down and do some test streams and just stop in sort of some of the quieter areas, quieter sort of poorer reception areas like this, and see what bit rate I can sustain. I have no idea how I can measure it, unless the mobile app provides that kind of information. And then so I've got, yes, this, and then there's another box that's about the same, about the sort of, maybe a little narrower and a little longer, but it's sort of an oblong version of this. I'm going to need to somehow mount both of those. I can stick them back to each other, and then I have to clamp them to myself somehow, maybe stick them on my chest below everything I've got here now. I just don't know, ultimately. I'm going to have to find some way of carrying all of these on me and wiring everything around. So the wire will go from here, from the GoPro to the encoder. Then I've got a really short Ethernet cable that goes between the encoder and the M2. And then I have a 5 to 12 volt converter that can go from here to power the encoder. So I just end up with this pack that sort of, there's a couple of wires going back and forth between the pack, and then a single wire that comes between this and the GoPro. And I guess if I just mount the whole thing, if it'll all sort of sit on my stomach below the GoPro, if there's enough room to do that. Otherwise, I don't know, I have no idea whether I can strap them to my shoulders, or maybe make, if there's some kind of a shoulder style backpack, and have it on my back, sort of on the back of my shoulders in a small backpack, so then just have a single wire that goes back there, because it can't be a proper backpack because there's the back seat, and the back of the seat of the C5. Ugh. I'll go over. I just thought of something I meant to ask the cycle repair dude, the cycle safety dude about. That's a shame. He'll be gone now. I wanted to ask him about what size sort of spanner I need to adjust a headset typically. Obviously I can just Google that, but it's nice to talk to someone. I'm going to park up here a minute. I'm going to have to pause, I'm afraid, because there's music being played, and music equals copyright claims equals bad times. So I'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to see if I can find myself some junk food to eat quickly. This is showing just 2 bars right now. That's less than ideal. Mission not successful in terms of getting myself some junk food. There's loads of sweets and stuff which I didn't really want. Yesterday there was a stall there that was selling olives. Hello. Selling stuffed olives, which sounded amazing, but they're not open. Well, they're not open right now at least. Okay, this reception's pretty poor. Again, it depends on what the bitrate is capable of supporting at this level of reception. Let's see what it's like through the university, through the old Naval College. Yeah, much better. I had a feeling they'd want all the students to have all the reception they can. Schmoldog. Okay, it's not great, again, not great, not terrible, but it's fairly consistent. Yeah, much the same all the way along here. 3-4 bars. Not great, not terrible. Just that. I reckon it's plenty enough to maintain a stream though. And probably the biggest area of where I'll have an issue. Oh bugger, I'm stuck. There's a no cycling sign where I wanted to get out. The biggest area where I'm most likely to have an issue is probably going to be up in the park, which is weird, at the top of a hill where the transmitters are. There's terrible reception. Okay, knowing about that little path makes life so much easier. The last time I really came along this way, when I went to go to the Thames Barrier in Woolwich, I rode along the actual pedestrian path, and it's so narrow because I didn't know about that cycle path there. So I was the dick causing a massive obstruction. So this is down to just 2 bars. That's not good. Gotta say, I thought it'd be better. 1. Oh, this is the closest it's come to dropping the connection. Go for a ride around this bit for no reason other than to go for a ride around this bit. It's like I'm kind of daring it there. It just lost. That's the first time that this sim has lost connection. So I know never to come here. Oh, that does mean... How can Woolwich Road have such poor reception? It's literally one of the busiest roads in South London, in South East London, sorry, after the A2 itself. I know it's supposed to be something like the most congested road. It's like one of the most congested roads in London. Where am I going? Left here. Right, let's try down this way. I'm going to have to put this back down when I get out onto the road. Really not down for getting squished. There's no traffic, hooray. Please stay that way. It'd be perfect timing. Oh, it just dropped connection again. Okay, I'm properly putting it down now. Out of sight, out of mind. So reception is poor but present. So there's just that one section by the Woolwich Road and in Greenwich University where I completely lost connection to the stream. Otherwise, I reckon I might be able to maintain an actual stream around here. Pretty decent. I'm just at the mercy of I can't remember if it's AliExpress or Alibaba that I ordered through. I think it's AliExpress. I'm at the mercy of their deliveries to get the encoder to me. I was down to 2 bars there, but it's back up again now. Yeah, I reckon this is doable. And worst case scenario, cellular bonding. If I use this with one provider and then just some kind of Wi-Fi dongle, I guess what I need to do is test back where I was. I should have looked on my phone, see what my reception is like at the time. Maybe I'll do that. I'll go back. I won't bother swapping the SIMs over. I'm just going to pop this, shut this down, pop it back into the boot, and see what the there you go, shut down. You're going to shut down or not? Yes. See what the reception is like through my phone in that patch, that small dead patch. Or if it was dead for Vodafone, it might not be for, I think it's 3 Mobile on my provider on that. Right, let's go back. Which way do I want to go? I'll go that way. Whoa! I was tempted to photobomb. See what the reception is like on my phone. Poor. I'll buy a £10 trial sort of top-up SIM for EE. Actually, I've got like 3 bars here now. The other SIM had none at all. Okay, that's interesting. So it could be that a combination of two different providers will be able to sort of maintain enough connection and data between the two of them. What I don't know is how the Bella Box decides how to balance, how it does the data balancing. If it literally just chucks half the data out of each, let's say you're running 2 modems, if it chucks half down each, or if it does have enough awareness of the bit rate that's it's capable of getting from the from each SIM, from each connection, and adapting that if it's got poor from one and better from another, that it can chuck 10% down one and 90% down the other, or something like that. Hello there. Yeah, you don't see them every day, do you?
You have to renovate it, or?
No, I was really lucky. It spent the first 20 years of its life on display in an automotive museum in Somerset, and the next 17 years of its life on display in a car, well, not a car showroom, a guy who used to sell ride-on tractors and go-karts. So I'm the only person that's ever used it.
Oh, it's in great nick, isn't it?
So I got really lucky. So I sort of greased up all the bearings and greased up the motor and gearbox, and that was it.
All about. Everybody's looking for a bit of electric now.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Charging distance.
So it depends on what battery you buy, basically. So the original ones were lead acid batteries, and they're all as dead as a dodo now. So I've got a lithium battery in this, and it's a 36 amp hour one, so I get 18 miles. I get 18 miles out of it. But obviously, you buy a large one, you go further. Buy a second one, you go even further again.
Oh, it's wicked to see one.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, nice one. Do you want to have a go?
No, I'll bet.
You on the job?
Yeah, I can't refuse.
All right, hang on. Let me turn it around for
You
you.
never get the opportunity again.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
I need my picture on that.
Right, let me teach you how to use it. It's really straightforward.
You're a diamond. Thank you.
No worries. So brakes just like a bicycle.
Normal.
Just give it a couple of pushes with the pedal just to get it moving.
Yep.
Once you're moving, that is the power. Just press and hold that and the motor will take over.
So
Yeah,
that's
don't
a
push
press
it till
and
you're
hold, yeah,
moving, but
gotcha.
it'll stall the motor.
Okay,
The
lovely.
moment it's remotely moving, you press and hold that. Don't turn too sharp or sort of sharply when you're going quickly, because it's only 3 wheels, it'll tip over.
Right.
It's an antique and I won't be happy.
I ain't
But
gonna
yeah, have fun.
I would love to have
Oh, you're very welcome. So yeah, just
I'll miss
it
out.
has a turning circle of a London bus, so bear that in mind.
Yeah, no worries. I will go nice and gentle. Right, little pedal.
Yeah, yeah. Push the button. It's not too bad. Same as a sort of a legal e-scooter or e-bike, be the same sort of speed, 15 miles an hour, and depending on the power to weight ratio. 85, yeah, 85, yeah.
And they never took off.
No, sadly.
This is it. They didn't.
The old brewery.
Old brewery.
The old brewery. Yeah, that's it. First left.
Here's-
That is fantastic.
Hey,
Oh, thank you, mate.
You're very welcome.
You just made the transport man very
yeah,
happy.
you're very welcome. Do you want to go?
That's brilliant.
Do you want to have a go?
That is fantastic.
You sure? Oh, there goes my flag.
Sorry, mate. Oh, look what I've gone and done. I'm so sorry. I have a go and I smashed the thing.
This is from B&Q. It's fine.
I'm sorry. I
It's
really
not the end of the world.
apologise. I'm gonna
What
go
I
and
have to do is
smash it up.
figure out
Can I
how to get
fix
it up.
for you?
If you've got a pair of pliers, long nose
Got any
pliers,
or anything?
to get this out, so I can then put this back in.
I need to fix that. It's not.
It's
fair.
not the end of the world. Like I say, it's just a pole from B&Q. It's just a case of I can get this out so I can put this back in.
I didn't see that there.
That's all right.
You have to have that on there then.
Yeah, so I just bought the pole just so I could be seen a bit better,
Oh, right.
and so I've got my little YouTube flag as well, so people know what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Don't get them over there.
Appreciate that. Cheers.
Sort that out for you.
Oh, are you on YouTube then, yeah?
Yeah. Well, so are you right now.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
We're all on YouTube.
It's all right, man. It was just an accident. It's no big deal. Cheers. Appreciate that. At least it's nothing important. No, I'm not going to get that. It just pushes in. I've just put a piece of masking tape around the end. It just friction fit. That's no big deal. While we're waiting, did you want to go?
No, I'm alright, man.
All right.
I'm very good at things like that.
Oh, no worries. Okay. No worries.
As much as I would love to, yeah. I'm no good.
It's not exactly a racing car.
It's certainly not. No, I just...
So how many left in existence?
I don't know. They were estimated to have sold about four, maybe 5,000 of the.
Oh, right.
They made 14,000. No idea what happened to the other 9 or 10. I know a whole load of them got shipped abroad. Loads of them have just been trashed and ended up in skips and stuff like that.
It's amazing, like all these years after, the electric cars are going to come into the future.
Yeah.
The very first sort of prototype sort of thing.
Yeah, it was like a really early attempt.
That's what's gonna come to
So
electric cars.
ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With it.
And what else did he invent? A calculator, wasn't
Yeah, calculator, the ZX81 and the Spectrum, the little computers, and
it?
yeah,
That little black.
that's the one.
Oh yeah. I came in a little bit later. I was on the Commodores.
Oh, very
I
nice.
was on
Yeah,
the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was after
very
that.
nice.
Oh gosh. You still hear the loading.
Yeah. Fantastic. So yeah, obviously these came out at that time, so we would have been what, 12, 13 years old,
Yeah.
and looking at them in the magazines, going, "I want to go, I want one."
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I wanted one back in the day.
oh
Absolutely.
yeah,
It's like, oh, these would be great.
they are a lot of fun. It's literally like a cross between a bicycle and an electric go-kart.
Ah.
And so it's a really good laugh. It's pretty easy to use. The handlebars are literally where your hands will naturally rest when you sit, so it's quite comfortable.
Would you just go round now and YouTube yourself? Like?
Yeah, so I whenever I'm out on having a ride, I record it and stick it on YouTube, because I invariably end up bumping into people like yourselves and having interesting conversation, meeting people and stuff like that. It's nice. And so I was literally just doing some tests right now. I stream to Twitch when I can as well, so I'll live stream it instead of just recording it.
Yeah.
And so I'm just testing a couple of new bits of equipment and get it, because the reception is so poor, especially at the top of the park, that my phone can't maintain the stream. So I'm just trying out a few sort of gadgets. Something called cellular bonding, which is where you can you basically have 2 mobile connections and a device that glues them together, sends the whole lot out to the internet between the sort of 2 connections, and it then puts them back together again, sends them off to Twitch for you. So if one connection is poor, it can use the other one and that sort of thing. Yeah, really clever stuff.
All that technology, you've got to get suppliers now.
But yeah, so it's a modern battery in it, so I get 18 miles out of that. But you can always fit a bigger one, you can fit a second one. They were designed that you could run 2 batteries.
Ah, right.
And so it weighs, because it's a lithium battery, it weighs, what, 3 kilos instead of a big old car battery that weighed half a ton.
That's probably the
Oh, you're a star, thank you kindly.
That's the second time I've seen
No
one.
worries.
I see one in the 8 actually.
Oh, awesome, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, in
That's
the
awesome.
80s. Yeah.
I was 21 in the 8, so
Ah, that might do it.
I might be able to clip that out.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Got that?
Lovely.
You take that
No,
out,
it's
I'll
rubbish.
put that
All right, yeah, it's just rubbish now.
Go on, mate.
And that'll just,
Slot straight.
it's just a friction fit, yeah. There we go, no worries.
Do apologise,
There we go.
mate.
That's all right, it's no problem at all. You're very welcome. Thanks for doing that.
Made me
Cheers.
very happy.
Nice to meet you both.
Very much, mate.
Nice to meet you too.
Have a good
Cheers.
day, yeah.
You guys have a good one.
I want to watch you go now.
All right, no worries.
No.
Run with it. What phone?
I haven't got your phone. I was going to say. Making that up.
Right, nice one. Cheers, guys. Catch you. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I just got to set something up. Yeah. Right, rock and roll. Cheers. See you later. Ta-da. So my flag bit the dust. Oh, it was just an accident, bless him. I might just buy a new pole. It's still got plenty of height on it. It's only lost about 4 centimeters, something like that. That's what she said. Oi oi, he says, a big wave. I'll stop up in the park and adjust my flag. He didn't quite, it's not quite facing the right way. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit shorter now than it was. And really fucking wonky. I think it's time I get a new one. Damn. There we go. It's that way. There we go. Well, you can see all the bends in the pole where it's taken hits over the last couple of months. You can see it's wonky. Crooked as a 9-bob note. So let's see how large a section. Oh, there we go. It wasn't even 4 centimeters. That's all that came off it. So what's that? An inch, 2.5 centimeters at the most. Skirt. Oh, my usual pausing spot. So there, that was useful and fun. Met those guys, they were really nice. Yeah, they were certainly very entertained to see the C5. Yeah, it was good to know about the mobile reception in that area. The whole sort of Cutty Sark area, I guess, should be doable. It just entirely comes down to sort of what bit rate 2 or 3 bars translates to. Anything over 500 kilobits is pretty much doable. Okay, I might have to do 720p if it's that low, but that is perfectly watchable. Better still if I can do 1080p, but 720 is perfectly watchable for a live stream, especially if people are watching on mobile devices. A screen that size, 720p is absolutely flipping fine. It's only once you start watching it on you know, these large 50, 60 plus inch LCDs and stuff like that, OLEDs and stuff, At 7:20 will start to look a bit pants. Right, where to go? I think I'll go and have a look at the boats, the little pedal boats. And head back up the top, I guess. So I really can't wait for this encoding device to turn up. I just want to try stuff out. I want to crack on, get on with it. I guess in the meantime I can set up OBS and get that ready to go, install everything that I need to do, the plugins and everything that I need to use to run OBS for streaming. And then it'll just be a case of setting up the encoder. That's right, you're all right there. That's the best place to be. Yeah, then all I have to do is set up the encoder with what bit rates I want it to do, and basically where it needs to send everything to the SRT stream. I need to investigate. I think I do, but I need to investigate if I have a dynamic IP or a static IP. I'm 90% sure I've got a static IP, which is what will make life easy. Otherwise I'll have to check the IP address every single time before I start streaming to make sure it's still correct. That is a gorgeous dog. Hello. Hello. Oh. But I'm pretty sure I've got a static IP at home. Well, pedal boats are pretty quiet, so let's mosey on. Right. Yes, I vaguely mentioned at the start of the stream, just as I was arriving at the pond, I've set up all my socials now. So I have a whole bunch of social networking pages and apps and sites with absolutely zero content on them, but they exist. So I myself have never had a Twitter account, I've never had an Instagram account. I never really had a use for them personally, but C5 Live UK does. It has Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, all sort of identically branded, identified as C5 Live UK. So yes, findable on across all platforms, and I'm going to have to start. Oh, I should have started today. Really, didn't think about it. I'll take something up by the General Wolf, start taking pictures and stuff to upload to Instagram. I don't know if you can upload videos to Instagram. Can you upload videos? In which case I might just edit sections out of some of my daily rides, if there's anything particularly interesting or noticeable. The thing is, I don't know what you guys find the most interesting. For me, doing this, the most interesting bits are when I stop to chat, like those guys just now. The times when I stop and meet people, that's sort of the most entertaining part. Don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying my ride, but it's the bit that seems that makes it sort of fun and interesting beyond just me going out for a ride. It's a lot cooler today, so it won't be quite such a so stressful on the motor. There'll be a bit of cooling. that cyclist. I think we're going to anyway. Bless them. This is such a hard hill to ride up. And then you get some git with battery assisted vehicle or actual e-bikes. E-bikes just sail up this hill like it's nothing. Same with an e-scooter. It's barely a blip on the radar for them. I have my, I think I timed it as a, I think it's a minute and 40-second workout. It's like doing an interval, a short bit of interval training. I rode this hill once and it absolutely killed me. I refused to give up, and I did make it all the way up to the top. Stopped where all the roller skaters are and just died for 5 minutes. Absolutely battered me. Pause there for a minute. I'm just debating whether to swap sims back. I don't see there's no reason to. Nothing to be gained from doing so. I think yeah, I'll leave them as they are for now. But what I will do is dig. No, I'll grab it out in a bit. I'm going to say I'll dig out the Nighthawk. Yeah, I will. And I'll start checking the reception around some of the areas that I'm about to ride through now. I won't be able to check it across the standard very much. That's a sketchy place for riding through. Damn, this has picked up a whole bunch of more scratches. God damn it. All it's done is sit in the back. There's been nothing in there with it. Flipping heck. Yeah, boy, does this need a screen protector. I even left it with the towel. Plastic is really soft and scratchy, which is weird considering it's a device that's intended for being carried out and about, and therefore obviously sort of having to endure some knocks and bumps and stuff. Right, let's mosey on. Put this underneath for now. Don't need it until I'm out. He's really trying to kill me. Now I'll dig it back out again. So I've got the little router in front of me, not router. Hotspot. So it usually gets pretty dead. Hello. Usually gets pretty dead down around this loop. Yep, not looking good. Small dog. Do not squishy this small dog. It's literally just 1 or 2 dots. Back to 2 or 3. No, that's all right, you do you, I'm heading off you, it's fine. It's all right. Cheers. Okay, so it's not great. 1 dot, 2 dots. But it hasn't completely dropped the connection. God knows what bit rate that's going to be though. Which is what I'm saying the whole time. Sorry for repeating myself a lot. I'm crap at this sort of thing. Just random chit chat is not my forte. So apologies to every single one of you that tunes in to watch me talk bollocks. Talking bollocks and confounding the locals. I'm going to put this down again for a second. Beep beep. Grab it again. What have we got going on? Besides a car that wants to kill me. Good on moment. There was a meme I saw the other week where it was making a joke about how motorcyclists assume that everyone in a car has a hired assassin who's out to kill them. And that is a good mentality to have. So we're down to 2 lines again, which isn't great, but it hasn't dropped the connection. Okay, and back up to 3. So I'm going to wait for that bus to go, and I'm going to wait for that car to go. Oh, there's another car, I'm going to let them go as well. I just don't want them breathing down my neck. So we're up to 4 bars, so that's pretty good. 3 bars, 3 or 4 bars. It's those 1 bar sections. Let's work on the basis that the bars aren't complete bollocks, but they kind of are. Let us, for the sake of sort of conversation, presume that they do actually mean something. It's those 1 bar sections where it's clinging on to the stream by a thread that are going to be the ones that are an issue. I'm going to come back to the bike, going to go all the way around the one-way system and come back to the bike shop. I'm being filmed from that Beamer. I could just see a mobile phone camera planted against the window or photographed, whatever. Okay, so it's 3 or 4 bars around here. I know this. I can now put that down out of the way. Shop. I'll see if Viders have a bell. Hello there.
It's got to be working national debt now, isn't it?
They're not too bad, depends on who's selling what and where. I've seen them going for between sort of 700 and 4,000 quid. The 4,000 quid ones, all of the owners were looking at them going, so 700 to 1,000 generally. depending on the condition and if they've got any of the added extras like the indicators or wing mirrors and stuff like that. And yeah,
Something
it's a
of
giggle.
legends, that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a giggle. It's a
Thank
giggle.
you.
Cheers, nice to meet you, man.
It's my Land Cruiser.
Nice one. Right, I'm going to stop the stream because this chap did not ask me to film him. I'll be back in a minute. Right, I'm back. Stopped at the bike shop to see if I could find myself a bell. Sadly, no. He did have a couple, but they were all not quite the right size. They were too large. The small one that was the right size as a bell, the connector wouldn't work for my setup here, which is a shame. And then we ended up talking for ages about music. It turns out that, oh heck, that's unfortunate timing, that we're into a lot of the same bands. So yeah, he, the chap that runs Vidas or Vadas Bike, V-A-I-D-A-S, Vadas Bikes in the Royal Standard in Blackheath. Yeah, massive Korn fan. He saw Korn back in the 90s on the tour for like their second album, something like that. So right, well and truly in their heyday. I've only ever seen Korn the once, and that was on the tour for their dubstep album. That was pretty cool, really good gig. Oops, I just suddenly realised I've locked away my M2 and I was supposed to be checking reception around here. I'll just grab that quickly before I mosey on. There we go. Okay, just 2 dots here. Three. Okay, it's almost full reception down here. Ultimately, it really all does just come down to what bit rate I'm getting from the low reception areas. Metallica fan. God, bugger all reception here. Flipping it. Oh no, suddenly it's jumped to full. Is it 1 or is it 4? Or even 5? Make your mind up. Thank you very much. Yeah, patchy is how I would describe it. Yeah. Car drivers tend to be a bit more aware, but passengers will often just fling open a door and not think twice about it, whether they're pushing a door into someone's face or not. Yeah, reception is really... There's that flipping chair again. I'll take another picture. I must remember to actually post... I'm sure it's on my photo album somewhere, but to post about it to Facebook. I'm sure I'll know someone that will want it. Free chair, free gaming chair. Put a couple of casters on it, sorted. Someone will want it. One dot of reception. 2. Thing is, upload bandwidth is always a fraction of download bandwidth. So if it's low for download, imagine what it's going to be like for upload. Eesh. Fairground is fairgrounding nicely. It's in effect. Actually, there's a reception light down here. So that church there is a very contested Pokemon Go, would it be a gym? Yes, it's gyms and stops, isn't it? So I've put the wireless hotspot away for now because I'm dealing with proper traffic, well, potentially. So yes, give it my full attention. Bit of parking by that Mini. Right. Back in a sec. Well, thank goodness I live in a lovely area. I forgot, I left this sitting in the floor well of the C5 and I buggered off into the shop. Oh my god, I can smell I couldn't tell you what type of curry, but some kind of curry. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely loving it.
Bueno, no sé si hay. Para acá, chicos.
Right, easy U-turn. That's the easier way of doing a U-turn in one of these. Not much to look at today without the fairground here. I'm going to be a bit cheeky and I'm going to go across the grass and head over to the pond. because it's safer than trying to ride on the road with a drink in my hand. I don't usually go across the grass. I'll just go straight across to the crossing. Look how, whoa, flip back. Look how brown and dry and sad the grass looks. For fear of stating the obvious, this is really fucking cold. My hand is freezing. So I figured I'd come across the safe zebra crossings, not take any chances. Riding one-handed in traffic has got to be one of the less good ideas. And then I'm just going to stop up by the pond, because at least I can watch the ducks or something, or geese. It's mostly geese. There's way more geese than ducks. Thank you. Hello, geese. Right, let's turn around, park up. I'll pause the recording. There's no point you lot sitting here while I drink my. It looks like I'm feeding them or anything. While I drink my ice blast. Oh, and thaw out my hand. And I'm just going to sit and watch the birds. Back in a minute. Right, going to mosey on. I've drank my drink. The birds do their thing. I think I'm going to head home. Head down through the village. I kind of want to go to Sainsbury's, but I kind of don't want to leave the C5 parked up outside Sainsbury's. That's where it comes down to, is I don't need to go in for terribly long, but I don't have a bike lock with me, and I think if I was going to leave it there where it's completely unattended, I think I would like to lock it to something secure. I'll let this van and this car go first. Still like doing an R-ing, trying to convince myself to go to Sainsbury's or not. I'm up for the adventure of heading down there. It'd be quite funny to go to Sainsbury's in the C5, but like I say, it really does come down to I really don't want it to get nicked, and there is a small chance is the sort of place that someone might do something stupid. I always get so lucky at that roundabout. Dude, you fucking dick. I know from having checked that coming down this road I'm doing slightly over the speed limit myself. So this arsehole came belting past me at 40 fucking miles an hour for absolutely no fucking reason whatsoever, other than to be really bloody dangerous. Twat. So my secret word for the stream is going to be Tesla driving twat. I have no problem with Tesla drivers. He is simply a twat who happens to be driving a Tesla. If it was a Ford driving twat, he'd be a Ford driving twat. If he was in a Ford, he'd be a Ford driving twat, etc. There we go, because they were waiting, I'll let them go first. That'll be quicker than me. so I shall go home via... I'll just stop at the small shop on the estate here. Get my dear old mum a loaf of bread and a crappy red top newspaper. I'm really behind on my uploads. Today I think will mark the third video that I need to upload. I've got 2 that are ready to go. Actually, I think yesterday's might need a small edit. This one is going to need a small edit. It's nice and sunny now. I forgot the forecast said that it was going to get better today. Right, BRB. Right, back again. Oops, forgot to put my wallet away. Phone, wallet, keys. Phone, wallet, keys. Going on a trip to the West Indies. The woman at immigration said, passport, please. Oh. So now I've got my phone, wallet, passport, keys. Phone, wallet, passport, keys. Now I've got 4 things, bitch, please. Phone, wallet, passport, keys. Sorry, I should not attempt that. That's Adam Sandler. Phone, wallet, keys by Adam Sandler, and it's freaking awesome. I'm not going to make this turn. More street furniture. Should have taken a picture of that as well. I have a friend who has a thing for converting random bits of furniture that she finds on the street, paints them up, decorates them, does all manner of stuff to them, and then either sells them on or uses them, keeps them, or uses them for, she does set dressing and that sort of thing. Yeah, creative ninja. So here we are, we're at the end of my ride. Hello there. So we've got the stream message that I gave you earlier. Put it in the comments below. Oh, looks like I'm stopping here today. Yep, leave it in the comments below. I'm not repeating it. You have to watch that bit to know the stream message, stream code for the day. Yep, thank you for coming along for the ride. It's been useful. Oh yeah, there was something I forgot to mention when I was looking at some e-bikes earlier. I was curious how much they tend to go for, and they were selling for £3,000–4,000. Flipping heck, I had no idea they were that expensive. I mean, even little e-scooters in Halfords tend to start at about £400. But yeah, 3 or 4 grand for an e-bike, flipping heck. I'm guessing they were pretty sort of high-end, heavy-duty ones, but that is a lot of money. Suddenly, these going for £1,000 doesn't seem quite so crazy. Yes, thank you so much for coming along. Thank you for spending some time watching my ride, watching my video. I'm C5 Live UK, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye. Like, share, subscribe.